Hello students, in this video we will be going to see the procedure for doing our practical number 7, which is servlets. So basically to work with servlets we require an application called as Apache Tomcat. You can Google Apache Tomcat and then click on the link as shown in the video. I would recommend downloading a version 8.5. Click on the zip file download link. This will download a zip file with a selected Apache Tomcat version. Extract the zip file contents to a folder, any folder. Since we are working with servlets are basically small codes which run on a server. Hence, we need an application, server application to host this code. That's why we are going to use Apache Tomcat. Okay, once extracted, now head back to Eclipse, and in Eclipse we need to add this Apache Tomcat as a server. So go to Windows, Show View, and search for server. If you don't find it, click on Other and then search for server. This will add a tab called Server besides your console, and then we will now proceed to manually add our server. Select the proper version, click on Next, and then browse the location where we have extracted our contents. Click on Finish now, and you will see that the Apache Tomcat has been added under your Servers tab. Okay. Now we'll move on to creating our project. Remember, here we don't have to create a Java project. Here we have to create a dynamic web project. So go to others and search web there and select dynamic web project. Click on next. Give your project a name. You can give any name. Click on next. And click on next once again. And be sure to check this box here, which is generate web.xml deployment descriptor. This will create a project for you, and you will get the project contents as shown here. You should get all these folders here. Now we will start creating our files. Select Java resources and then right click on src main and first create a package. You can name your package anything. I'll name it com.servlet. Then under com.servlet we'll create a new class file. We'll name it validation, or keep in line with the naming convention followed in our lab menu. We'll now copy the code as given in the manual and type it in Eclipse. We will now type the code as shown in the manual here. This code will work as a servlet basically. Now we need to create one more file. So you will find another folder called src. Click on it, and under it there are different subfolders. Under web app, right click on web app and create an HTML file. Name it login.html and simply click on finish. Here we will type the code for login.html given in our lab manual. This is basically the design of our web page written in HTML code. Whatever we want to display on our web page will be written in this code here. Basically, we are going to display a table with the username and password fields there. We will first test this code and our server. Run this HTML file by following the steps as shown. we'll have to select our Tomcat server and then click on finish. Now, if you get this error, the port 8080 used by Tomcat is currently in use, it means that the port that is used by our server is being used by some other process. Okay, so we can resolve this issue by two things. Firstly, we can try to kill the application which is using the port. Okay. So open your command prompt and open it as an admin. Type this command here. Okay. Basically, we are finding which application is using the port 8080. Okay, which is needed by our Apache Tomcat server. So this is the ID of the application which is using port 8080. I'll simply kill it by running this command here. We already talked about ports in our practicals. So if some other application is using the port numbers, Apache server can't run. Okay, so after doing this, the server will run and our code is being run. Our HTML page is being displayed properly. Okay. There is another method for resolving this issue. You can browse to your Tomcat folder where you extracted the contents, then go to conf folder and open the server file with notepad. Then under this, find your port, the connector port, and replace the 8080 with some other port name. Okay, you can use any port name, any 4-digit port name you can use. So you can use these two methods to resolve that error. I would prefer using the first one. Okay, even after doing this, see, you will not get the output. The HTML is running fine, but the data is not being handled or being transferred to the servlet. Okay, so we will need to do one more step. We need to link our servlet to the HTML page. Okay, so we do this by editing the web.xml file. You'll find it under web.inf. Okay, write this code in web.xml file. I've already written it. Okay, basically this contains the servlet name. I'm naming the servlet. Okay, the servlet class tag specifies the location of the servlet. Okay, in my case it is com.servlet.validation. Validation is the name of my Java file. Okay, then I'm mapping that servlet to a URL. You can use any URL. I am using my SRV as a URL here. Okay, and same thing, you need to change in login.html. Under action you have to type dot forward slash mysrv or whatever your URL is. Okay, basically this says that the data which is accepted from HTML page will be transferred to mysrv servlet, which is our validation.java code here. So we'll run this again. And now if I type a wrong password and username, it will show me invalid username, and you can see the URL is my srv. Okay, and now if I type the correct username and password, the correct username and password is as shown in the validation.java as per my code. You can also change it. Okay, so if I type my correct username and password, it will show me welcome to this web page text. Okay, if you are getting any error, you can try copying this URL and running it in private mode. Okay, this resolves any issues or errors caused by cookies. So you can try with this also if you are getting any errors. If you have any queries, you can tell me in the comments. Thank you.